Guten Tag miteinander. Schön, dass ihr alle da seid. Ich werde auf Deutsch sprechen mit euch und mit Hanin auf Arabisch. Sie selbst spricht auf Englisch. Eine simultane Übersetzung wird es nicht geben, aber das ist der einfachste Weg, wo wir auch Zeit sparen können. Danke, Ron. Ja, ich knüpfe das an dem, was Daniel Fischer gesagt hat. Es geht um die Frage, oder es geht darum, dass wird immer über die israelische Demokratie gesprochen. Wie wahr ist dies? Das ist unsere Frage. Ist Israel eine echte Demokratie? Und wie wir dies hier kennen in Europa, in der Schweiz? Palästinenser wie Hanin behaupten das Gegenteil. Nun, welche Aspekte hat diese Scheindemokratie, wie Sie sagen, oder ist diese Behauptung unwahr? Sie muss uns heute das hier vorführen. Wie war dies und wie werden normale Palästinenser diskriminiert, falls das der Fall ist? Und wie werden ihre gewählten Vertreter, also wie Hanin, auch diskriminiert und davon verhindert, von ihrer Arbeit zu tun? Eigentlich kundzugeben, die Meinung der Palästinenser in Israel, oder der israelischen Palästinenser. Wie kann Israel diese Scheinheiligkeit wahren und aufrechterhalten? Das sind unsere Fragen heute an Hanin. Sie wird ungefähr 40 bis 45 Minuten sprechen und dann eröffnen wir die Diskussion, werde ich ein paar Fragen stellen und dann habt ihr die Möglichkeit, Fragen zu stellen. So begrüßen wir Hanin nochmals. Welcome, Hanin. So I will speak two things in English, then I will speak in German, and with you in Arabic you can speak in English. So it is the easiest way to not spend a lot of time in translating. I was saying the main question is about democracy of Israel. Everybody talks about this democracy. Is this democracy a real one? Is it not real? As you say, as a Palestinian, you say this is not a real democracy, and it's your turn to show us how this democracy is not real. So, please. You can sit down. You can as you like. It is okay. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would thank all of you that you prefer Saturday afternoon to come to here and not to have your weekend. I also thank the Schweiz-Palästina Association for inviting me. For us, it's so important as Palestinians, citizens of Israel, it's so important to talk to the international community because we have been excluded out of our people. We have been excluded out of the struggle. We have treated as an internal Israeli issue, as if a group of people whom also the Israeli don't count and also the Palestinian don't count. Actually, as Daniel said, that the Palestinian issue has been demolished, has been marginalized. It is now not on the top of the priority of the people. We also, as Palestinians inside Israel, who compose now 18% of the society, who are 1,200,000 Palestinians, we also consider to be a marginal group, not active in the Palestinian struggle. And this is what we say. Well, we are part of the Palestinian people, not just emotionally, not just as an identity that we identify with our people. No, also actively, also politically, we are part of the Palestinian people. And when we say that we are struggling for democracy, when we say that we are struggling for our rights, we are struggling for our rights as Palestinians, not just as citizens, as Palestinian citizens, as indigenous people, as representing the people whom Israel expelled in 1948, and as representing the unity, even the unity of the Palestinian people. We are now saying that Israel must not succeed in dividing us, as Palestinians in Israel have their special struggle separately from the Palestinians in the Westbank in Gaza and separately from the Palestinians in the diaspora and in the refugees camps. No, we have one macro struggle, to struggle against racist ideology, the Zionist ideology. When we are struggling for our democracy, we cannot struggle for our democracy without challenging the definition of the state as a Jewish state. And what we say in the bottom line, that Israel must choose. Does she want to be a Jewish state, or does she want to be a democratic state? It cannot be both. There is no democratic way to be a Jewish state, as there is no democratic way to be a Muslim state. There is no democratic way to be a Christian state by definition of the state. And when we confront Israel about its crimes in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, Israel has an answer. I am defending myself from the terrorists. It is so easy just to make the whole Palestinian people a terrorists. And she's saying, okay, there is ISIS, there is Daesh, there is Hamas, all of them are terrorists, and I am defending myself from these terrorists. But when we ask Israel, why you are oppressing also your own citizens, the Palestinian citizens, then Israel cannot, in so comfortable way, answer because they are terrorists. So we are the true answer, whether Israel is persecuting the Palestinians because they are terrorists or because they are Palestinians. We are the proof that Israel is fighting the Palestinians because they are Palestinians and not because they are terrorists. Because she defends the Jewish state, she defends its interests on the opposite way, at the expense of the Palestinian interests. And because it still treated itself as a Zionist project, maximum land with minimum Palestinians. The Zionist projects didn't end in 1948. It is still a continuous project. And the Nakba, 1948, didn't end. It is still, Israel is still practicing towards us, the citizens, the same practices she began before 1948, confiscating our land, controlling the land, and controlling our identity, not just the land. Maybe Israel wants to expand the settlements in the West Bank in order to control the land, but at least the Palestinians in the West Bank and in Jerusalem are Palestinians. But I suppose to redefine myself as Arab Israelis. Even to call myself a Palestinian is a disloyalty. Even to call myself that I am part of the Palestinian people. And you, Israel, cannot recreate my identity and my history. And this is not a matter of choice. You expelled my people, but still I am Palestinian. And still I remember that you expelled my people in 1948. You expelled 85% of my people. But to say this fact, that I am a Palestinian, will turn me to a threat, a strategic threat. I am a disloyal. In Israel, I supposed to be loyal to the state, loyal to the state which doesn't recognize me, not just as a human being, which wants to disconnect myself from our people, to disconnect ourselves from our history, to disconnect ourselves from our homeland. It is not just a matter of confiscating the land. It is a matter of confiscating the homeland. It's a matter of confiscating our relationship to the land. It is a matter of rewrite even the names of the cities, the names of the geographical places within a Jewish, to replace the Arabic names with a Jewish place. We are not allowed to study our history in the schools. We are not allowed to say Nakba. There is a special law, a new law, a special law to punish any institution which commemorates Nakba, even to talk about this history. And it is not just my history, it's also the Israeli history. So how the Israeli child can be raised without studying, without learning anything about the Palestinian, the 18% of the population. Now we are 18%. After 10 years, we will be 25%. So no one can neglect our struggle. And it's also a struggle for democracy, but also part of the Palestinian struggle for justice. We cannot differentiate. We cannot differentiate our struggle for equality, civic equality, and national equality, and the Palestinian struggle for justice. In Israel, and we are the answer whether Israel is a democracy or not. The Palestinians in the Westbank cannot answer this, because it's still formally an occupation. And Israel said, okay, Europe, we have mutual norms. I am part of the Western ideas of freedom and equality and democracy, as if freedom is a Western notion. Freedom is not a Western notion also. But this is how Israel gives itself a legitimacy, and Israel needs legitimacy. There is a restriction to power. The name of this restriction is legitimacy. Israel needs the legitimacy of being a democratic state. This is so important, so important. And any criticism, Israel can handle the criticism about its crimes in the West Bank and Gaza, that she put 2 million in Gaza, in the biggest jail in the world, and she pumps Gaza every 3-4 years, killing 2,500 children, or 1,600 with 400 children. She can do that, and she can say, as I said to you, a terrorist. But this claim of democratic state is very sensitive to Israel. And this is why I am expelled 3 of the 13 Arab MKs in the Israeli Knesset. 3 out of 13 are expelled from the Knesset for 4 months. Like that, 1/4. I have been elected by 500,000 Palestinians. 500,000 Palestinians have elected me. And the majority of the Knesset can say to me and to other additional 2 of my colleagues that no, we will freeze your parliamentarian work for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. They gave to themselves the right to put a veto to the Palestinian representation. At least Israel wasn't a democracy at all. In Israel there are 80 racist laws, 80 laws regarding citizenship, family unification, confiscation of land, preventing Palestinians from living within 570 community villages. It is an apartheid law. I cannot, even after the state confiscate my land, I cannot use my land. We are prevented by law to live. Of course, the law doesn't say because you are Palestinians. The law said because of a lack of social harmony. And these community villages have the right to have acceptance committee. And this acceptance committee can decide whether to accept Hanin or Saeed or Anton to live within these community villages, or not to accept it without any ability to go to the court to challenge their decision. So you have, and these 570 community village controls more than 60% of the land of Israel. Imagine that in Switzerland there is a law preventing some group to live within 60%, within 1%, imagine. Can you pass a law preventing some citizens from living within 0.5%? I am prevented. It is not just a matter of expanding settlements in the West Bank. At least the settlements in the West Bank are developed beside the Palestinian villages. No, within Israel, they develop the Jewish villages badal, upon, instead of the Palestinian villages, upon our land and upon villages. Now, 2015, I am not talking about 1948. I am not talking about the early years of Israel. This acceptance committee law has been passed in 2011. 60 years after the creation of Israel. Why you need, there is a plenty of land. But no, the idea, not the lack of land to the Jews. The idea is to control the land of the Palestinians. The state treats me in a colonialist way. And when we criticize this in the Knesset, not in Switzerland, not within this room, in the Knesset, they would answer us so frankly, but you are invaders. But you are the invaders. I am the invader? Who immigrated to whom exactly? Who came to me exactly? Did we immigrate to the Israel, or someone else immigrated to us? And now we are saying, okay, let's live with each other with full equality. This is a huge historical compromise for me as indigenous people. This is for me to say to these whom immigrated to us, let's live together, but without any privileges. You cannot control the land. You cannot treat me as a colonialist here. And I cannot accept 1 millimeter of advantages. And we cannot accept the 80 racist laws. For us, this is a historical compromise, because usually the immigrant asks the equality from the indigenous. This is with some exceptions in the history. But till now, I am the indigenous who is struggling for my equality with the immigrants. In Israel, 50% of the Palestinians are under poverty line. 50%. It is not just the national rights. It's how to oppress this community and how to separate it from the Palestinian people. Israel till now has still confiscated 86% of the land. Now, 2015, Israel wants to expel 30,000 Palestinians from the Negev, south of Palestine. Citizens, I'm not talking about the West Bank, I'm talking about inside Israel. Israel has a new plan. She called it Proverb Plan, to expel 30,000 Palestinians from the south, destroy 5 Palestinian villages, and in the same place to build 5 Jewish villages. The Negev is 12 million dunum. 12 million dunum. There's plenty of place to any Jew. But no, Israel wants to control the 800 kilometers from these Palestinians. So still the project of maximum land with minimum Palestinians. I am not second-class citizen. No. I am invader in the perception of the state. I am an obstacle to the Jewish state. It is not a matter of discrimination. It's not just a matter of discrimination. We must conceive ourselves as guests. As we must be also grateful to Israel. That, look, Israel, thank you that you didn't expel us in 1948. And with this perception that we should thank Israel for not expelling us in 1948. Any challenge of this discrimination and oppression, of at least defining ourselves as Palestinians, any challenge to this policy would make us disloyal. So the perception of the Israelis that we cannot be Zionist, but we should internalize the legitimacy of the Jews to our homeland. We must internalize that we must apologize for Nakba. We must apologize. In the Israeli perception, we must explain that it is our fault that Israel has expelled us in 1948. And it is the full right of the Jewish to have a full Jewish state. And what is the meaning of Jewish state? The Jewish state has three meanings. To preserve the Jewish as a majority in the state, to give privileges to the Jews on the expense of the Palestinians, and that the state should be controlled by the Jewish citizens. This is the definition of Jewish state. So how can this be a democratic state? In which way? Do you have a democratic tools to secure the majority and to give privileges? Can these three definitions be democratic in some way or another? They cannot be. They cannot be. Until now, it is not a matter of how the state perceives itself as a strong state. It's strong. But 30 out of 80 laws, these racist laws, have been passed during the last 10 years. Not when Israel was maybe a weak state in the beginning. No. It is not a matter of how weak or strong the state perceives itself. And till the Second Intifada, at least till the Second Intifada, the state was occupied with how to oppress the Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. From the Second Intifada on, it was so easy to oppress the Palestinians. There is security coordination with the Palestinian Authority. Security coordination. And there is the siege, and there is a wall. There is no Palestinians in the mind of the Israelis. Even in the last 3 Israeli campaigns, they didn't talk about the issue. The issue which occupied the Israeli election campaign was the problem of housing, and the problem of economy, and the problem of the middle class. There is no problem. They don't feel that they are oppressing another people. At least before Oslo, they felt that there is Palestinians on the other side of the story. There are Palestinians, and at least the issue how to deal with the Palestinians was an issue. But after Oslo, the siege, the wall, the Palestinian security coordination, there is no issue, and we become the issue. Israel can concentrate upon those Palestinians who are uncontrolled. متمردين شوي. شو متمردين؟ فراس. Eh? Yeah. Okay. We in the Zionist plan, we should be the most calm section, part of the Palestinian society. We should be the good guys. We should be the good guys. They gave us citizenship, and they want to tame us within the school, the educational system. They can tame us. the media, the Zionist parties, and they treated citizenship as if, they want to treat citizenship as if a bargaining. We give you your we give you an Israeli citizenship, you gave us back your identity, your personality, your historical memory, everything. And you own to us your daily living. You must feel that you own us your daily living. This was the meaning of citizenship in the Israeli state. But we don't think that we own them anything. We think that any success, the fact that we are living till now, the fact that maybe we are developing, it is in spite of Israel, not because of Israel. It is in spite of your policies, in spite of your oppression, in spite of your policies that we are now 20% of the society, but just 10% in the Israeli universities. And we are Palestinians, and we secure our identity as Palestinians and as the owner of our homeland. And we didn't internalize the inferiority that you are superior to us. It is because of our national struggle, not because of your schools, not because of your curriculum. We are not allowed to study our history in the schools, that we pay taxes to the Israeli Educational Ministry in order to learn how inferior we are, actually. In order to learn that this homeland belongs to the Jewish and not to us. And also, after Oslo, something has been switched. We became the problem, and actually after the Second Intifada, and more accurate after the death of Arafat, we became the problem, not the Palestinians in the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and of course the refugees has also lost their role within the Palestinian struggle. We became the problem. We said, look, we cannot agree for this definition of Jewish state, because this is a racist definition, because it gives legitimation to the privileges to the Jews in the expense of the Arabs. Now the name of the game is to tame us again, to tame us, to redefine our political activity. And this is why there are a lot of decisions and a new law to put a veto on the representatives of the Palestinians within Israel. A veto. Now they want to go back to the military regime. We were in a military regime till 1966. Maybe no one remember. But we were under military regime till 1966. And they were controlling our representatives. They prevent every political party except the Communist Society, because the Communist Party agree with the UN division partition decision. And now they realize that they should go back to the period which they could control the representative of the Palestinians. Now we are more confident about ourselves. Now we say that we are Palestinians and that we take our citizenship seriously. And if you thought that this citizenship will disempower us, will weaken us, no, we want to use it in a democratic way to empower ourselves and to struggle for our national rights as Palestinians and for our civic rights as citizens. And we don't accept any contradiction, any contradiction between being a citizen and being a Palestinian. We want both. We want 100% to be 100% Palestinians and 100% citizens. And if you, Israel, see any contradiction with this formula, then it is your problem. Then it is you which doesn't accept democracy. Then it is you who violate your definition as a Jewish and democratic state by being undemocratic and by being racist state. We took this democratic discourse very seriously, and this is why they don't want us in the Knesset. We are 13 out of 120. We are minority in the Knesset. We cannot pass any law. We cannot oppose any law. They can do whatever they want, and they are doing whatever they want. But they don't want this voice. They don't want us to be shahid, a witness about the racism, because we are a witness. They don't want any witness. They don't want anyone to bother them when they say, we are the only democracy in the Middle East. So at least the Arab dictatorship states doesn't claim to be democratic states. At least they are honest يعني. At least مش هالقد وقحين يعني. شو وقحين؟ They are not, at least the Israeli states are, the Arab states are not rude and arrogant to say we are democratic states. Everybody knows they are dictatorships. But you want to be also a racist? You want to enjoy everything and also to represent yourself as a democratic state. No, we will not let you do so. And this is why now in Israel they are trying to pass a special law which by 90 Knesset members they can prevent any Palestinian from being elected, even by 500,000 Palestinians, even by 1 million Palestinians. 90 Jewish MKs can put a veto on the Palestinian representative in the Knesset. So even these procedures, Israel by definition cannot be a democracy, we say this. But now there is something else. Even the procedures of democracy, which is freedom of speech and freedom of election, yeah? Even these two are now is changing within Israel. Israel now is changing from a liberal racism, which as if want to enjoy both Jewish and democratic, to a fascist racism. Israel is adopting for the last 3 years a very clear fascist features. Look at the 80 racist laws. Look at it. Don't listen to Hanin. You don't need to listen to me. You just enter Google and see the 80 laws. Let Israel speak about itself. Maybe we lie. Maybe the Palestinians lie. Let reality speak about itself. Let Israel speak. Let the legal system of Israel speaks about itself. Listen to them. Listen to the ministries, the Israeli ministries and MKs when they say the Palestinian blood doesn't equal the Israeli blood. They are saying this every day during the last month. Listen to them. They are saying the mourning of the Palestinian woman doesn't equal the mourning of the Israeli woman. Listen how they, after the head of the Israeli army said, after the Israeli soldier shot down the Palestinians in Hebron, he said, this is not our norms, we should investigate this. We don't kill people unless they are risky. And the Israeli public opinion stood in their legs. Why? Because he's lying. Because this is how you kill everyday Palestinians, while you could arrest them. You are lying, not the fascists. The racists didn't lie. They said they didn't accept, not because he is a democratic and they are not, because he lies and they don't. They know that they are shooting the Palestinians every day, even if the Palestinians don't make بيشكلوش أي خطر. They don't put them in any dangers. They know that it is part of the norm to be hostile to the Palestinians. They know that it is part of the norms to kill the Palestinians. It is part of the legitimacy. So suddenly the head of the Israeli army say, we should investigate the case. You are lying. You said so because there was a camera which took the pictures, which exactly documented the event. Just because of that, if there was no camera, you would pass so calm about killing Palestinians. So, the struggle now, the struggle of those who support the Palestinians, is to speak about what's happening inside Israel. What I try to represent here, the legal and political system of a racist state, because the support which Israel seeks is connected to its legitimacy, to the claim for legitimacy, to the answer of, I'm protecting myself, I'm protecting myself, I'm protecting myself. This is the only answer of Israel. I'm protecting myself, I'm protecting. What's the relation between this anti-racist law and protecting yourself? Why you are now expelling 30,000 Palestinians in the Negev and want to control their land? Because you are protecting yourself. Why you are persecuting the representative of the Palestinian minority? You say you are democracy. Why you are persecuting them? You are putting a veto. And according to the new research, are you a democratic state if 80% of the Israelis doesn't agree to give equal rights to the Palestinian citizens? 80%. According to a new research, American research, which has been conducted before the last events in Jerusalem, in August 2015. Now the statistics would be worse. 80. 8 from each 10 doesn't agree with equality. So this tells everything. This tells that it is part of the game to be racist. It is not an exception. It is not here some policy. No. It is 80 laws, 80% of the society. Do you need any information more than that? 80 laws regarding everything, and 80% of the society says, no, we don't agree with equality. We want to oppress the Palestinians. They are not equal. We don't believe in democracy. And 50% agree with transfer. Transfer to the citizens. 30% of those who vote to the center and to the left of the center, we don't call them left because there is no left in Israel, the center and the left of the center, 30% from the voters of this section of the political scene support transfer, and 80%. And you can Google that. You can Google that, everything you can. You can Google every information I just represented. So what we need from you is really just to follow up these policies, these laws, and the daily claims of the Israeli MKs and the Israeli ministers, the daily تصريحات. خلوا السويسرية يتعلموا شوية عربي. The daily شو تصريحات يا أخي؟ Statements. And the daily statements. We must use this as part of our discourse, because this is what worrying Israel more and more. Thank you.